On February 13th of this year, I was spending time at the hospital. Our second son was born, and we named him Troy Benjamin Armstrong. Now at the hospital, my wife gave me a gift, other than my son. This watch. I now have 2 watches given to me by my wife at the hospital. And that's wonderful. Because as Toastmasters, we like to keep time. Everything we do is timed. I'll be the timer. I like that role. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, how do you spend your time? For those of you who don't know me, I have 4 kids under the age of 5. Yeah, 4 kids under the age of 5. You probably know how I spend my time: changing diapers and wiping runny noses. Now at the hospital, I began to put my watch on, and I noticed that in the box, my wife had left me a little note. She wrote, "Dads keep time for those they love." In such a simple way, she had reminded me to keep family a priority, because there's so many things that try to grab our attention. Would you agree? What time do you look back on so fondly? Now, my oldest daughter's name is Maddie. And as a father, I believed that our job was to be the provider of the family. And I set that out as my goal. I began to love to work. I would get up and go to work before my daughter got out of bed, and come home after she had already gone to bed. One evening, my daughter Maddie was talking to my wife Jen. And she says, "Mom, where does Dad live?" That evening I came home, I opened the back door, I walked into the kitchen, I turned and my wife was standing there. The first thing she said to me was, "You love your business more than you love us." I denied it. How are we going to pay these bills if I don't work these long hours? How do we get ahead? Jen said to me, "Troy, Maddie wants to know where you live. She doesn't even think you live with us." And I said, "Jen, I'll make it up." My wife said, "You can't get this time back." She reminded me of the relationship that I had with my dad and encouraged me to seek out the same relationship with my kids. The best compliment I had ever received was when I was 22 years old. It was Thanksgiving. My mom was in the kitchen cooking the turkey and fixing her pumpkin and pecan pie. I was in the family room watching the Lions pregame, believing this is the year we win on Thanksgiving. My dad walked into the room and he says, "Troy, we need more places for family to sit. Come help me get some more chairs." So we had to go to our church and pick up some extra folding chairs. Believe it or not, doing this work, we were having a good time. On the way home, in the car, my dad said to me, "Troy, I wish I had a friend like you when I was your age." Hearing from my dad that I had the characteristics of what makes a good friend was the best compliment I'd ever received. The person I am today and the father I want to be is largely because of my dad. I wear these watches not at the same time, but to remind me that time is the most valuable thing we have. Would you agree? Time with my dad changed my life. Dads keep time for those they love, and they validate the person they're children have become. We keep time to share great experiences. We keep time with friends to have memories that'll last a lifetime. We keep time to leave a legacy. We keep time to change one life. And in my case, 4. Sitting at the hospital, I was holding my son. My wife was asleep. Well, she did all the work. The words of basketball coach John Wooden came to my mind. He says, "A careful man I must always be. A little fellow follows me. I know I dare not go astray, for fear he'll go the self-same way. I cannot once escape his eyes. Whate'er he sees me do, he tries. Like me, he says he's going to be. This little fellow who follows me." He thinks that I'm good and fine and believes in every word of mine. But the base in me he must not see. This little fellow who follows me. I must be careful as I go through summer sun and winter snow. Because I am building for the years to be this little fellow who follows me. How do you spend your time? What is getting in the way of you keeping time? Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, keep time.